Hey, this is Genny with Get a Real Estate Life, and I promised you that I would share with you this crazy story that nobody would believe unless you got to meet these guys all on your own and see it. And I've got to watch it from its infancy. Just about 4 years ago, I got to meet Jamie from actually being Facebook friends. Positivity usually finds a way to connect. So, Jamie, tell us just a little bit about who you are and your background.
Okay. My name is Jamie Reynolds, and I'm a partner with Josh on our real estate team, the Josh Vernon Group. 4 years ago, that was a very, very different story. I was actually an assistant store manager at Carpet One store. I was selling floors, and was very happy, but, was not at all happy with what I felt was a very definitive ceiling on what we could do. So I'd been actively looking for a couple years for a couple different things and tried a couple things that, weren't really a fit, and then Josh and I actually crossed paths. And I think even before crossing paths with Josh, I read Millionaire Real Estate Agent, kind of on a whim, and it's kind of a funny book to pick up a 400-page blueprint to a real estate mega team. But I read it, and it kind of made sense. I thought, I think I can do this. I think we could build a team, and through leverage, we can work through people, and we can accomplish something amazing. So, we've always heard the crazy analogy that, when the student's ready, the master appears. And, it's almost that kind of story. I met Josh in an open house completely by chance because he was doing what an ambitious realtor should be doing. He's holding 3 open houses on a Sunday. And I was a bored guy on a Sunday afternoon with nothing better to do. So that was kind of our introduction.
Well, and what's funny is Jamie came in and said, man, I've met some nice agents because he's nice about everybody. And he said, but this guy really works. And he was so excited about it because I think it made the MREA real for you.
Yeah, that's right.
You kind of saw what he was doing, working hard out there, and how those systems and models could fit around what he was already doing.
That's right.
So I think it kind of lit fire, put gasoline on what your whole vision is.
That's right.
And I laugh because when he has a vision, it happens. He's like, no, that's going to happen because I see it.
That's right.
And it's kind of helped all of us funnel into that. So in walks Josh. I got to meet Josh. He already was on fire about him, so I couldn't wait to meet him. He was not excited about meeting me at all, but he went anyway. And share a little bit about your story.
Well, I did feel like I had everything together. I had it all. I was selling about 40 houses a year, working 80 hours a week, and doing really well, and I felt like, there's nothing more Genny can teach me. I got this, and it didn't take me long to figure out that there was a lot of ways that we could tweak what I was doing, work fewer hours, make more money, and sell more houses. So, it took a little convincing, just a little. But
he was like...
It worked great. It worked out really great.
Well, and you had closed, I think, 54 that year.
Okay. Might have been. I think because we met around October, and I think it was...
Yeah.
Almost at the end of the year, so that's probably about right.
It was a crazy successful year. So many agents that I work with, want to try to get to that level. So he was already there. So I completely, Jamie and I laugh about it today, but I understood where he was. Like, hey, I've got this. I don't need to hear, any what anybody has to say, whatever. But I think that you kind of started opening your mind to what a couple of other people were doing, and you finally said, all right, I want to do more, but I can't work another minute. I remember you telling me that and me feeling like right there in the trenches with you, knowing what you had been through,
Yep.
how hard you had worked, and not being able to see what else you could do because you were like, I don't want to have to handle a lot of the stuff that I would think I would have to handle, having a team or hiring people or
Didn't
leverage.
manage people.
Right.
No managing people. I had managed people, and I was done with that.
Well, and he had closed mostly buyers whenever I took a look at what his business was. And you had a few listings.
Mm-hmm.
You had some investments.
Yeah.
Some investment properties from people that you met from the bank.
Right.
I remember that. And so, of course, he wasn't interested in, taken on more of that because those weren't really sellable.
Right. Oh yeah.
So you were thinking, okay, buyers are going to be immediate.
Buyers were quick and easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, together, what we kind of, put a vision in following what his vision was and being able to make a plan around what he saw, we switched Josh over to a listing agent and really together focus on listing leads through direct mail. And it was about a year of, should we stop this? It's expensive. Should we stop this? It's expensive. And finally, after the 12th month, it started rolling in, and it was almost crickets to overnight. I mean, I think based on building listings. Now, the whole time the buyer leads were coming in, and Jamie can convert a buyer lead in his sleep. I mean, if they call, he's going to be there. And your motto, I love. You want to share what your motto is?
I mean, I think everybody just makes this way too complicated. Josh and I both. I remember our first year. Josh was very much still a buyer's agent. I was a buyer's agent. I didn't know what I was doing, so he was really working double, trying to take care of the contract we were creating, and then I was ready to go get another one. So. But our motto has always been, if somebody wants to go see a house, you go show the house. You don't ask a bunch of stupid questions like, are you pre-approved, and do you know a realtor that you might want to work with instead of me, and stuff like that. So our opinion has always been very much, especially Zillow. Zillow is very much where we got our start. If somebody wants to see ABC 123 ABC Street today at 8:00, then I'm going to be there. And the lights are going to be on when they get there. So. That's what we did, and we had a lot of success converting people quickly. And somewhere along the way, we got pretty good at asking those buyers, are you going to sell another house? And then, we got very comfortable with a handoff. Is kind of what we call it on our team. And, that's just always worked really, really good, that I would edify Josh, Josh would edify me. And, we just always try to do right by people.
Well, and Jamie has a saying that you better be first, or you better be the best.
That's right.
And that's really making that connection and rapport and being warm. And like he said, don't, sell every other agent in town. Just be a helpful person. And more often than not, you're going to be able to get the business there. And so then they became where they split the team in two. And you want to explain a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, pretty much what I did was... since I had at least done a few listings, I decided to become the listing agent. Genny was the buyer's agent. It was just the two of us. And like you say, I'd had a few listings, but listings weren't my cup of tea, really. I mean, it was a learning process. Pretty much so we divided those roles up, and we stayed exclusive to those roles, and we did not budge at all. And I think that really kind of led us to where we are today, where we do divide our roles up on our team, and we have multiple buyer's agents, multiple listing agents, and we do not cross those lines at all. And I think it works. We call it the specialist model from Millionaire Real Estate Agent of all places, and it works great. I think our system has proven it. It definitely works.
Well, I know for a fact I had the same setup on my team, and it works because people trust that. You know what's going to work on the listing side. You've got that down. You know what sellers want to hear. You don't have to try to figure out and put different hats on, because Jamie's got the buy side. He knows how to make it easy on somebody. He knows how to find properties easy, get people under contract a lot easier than a lot of people struggle to do. Share, moving fast forward, in the promo we talked about, how many listings that you currently have, and that's how many?
We have 68.
Okay, and how many do you have coming?
22 coming soon.
All right.
Just shy of 90. We're trying to hit 100.
And I wanted to be able to share this with you because most people can't see that you could do this. And this is not in a gigantic city. This is in Trussville, Alabama, which is a suburb of Birmingham. And how many pendings do you have on the listings?
We have 32 pending.
Okay, so all in a matter of 4 short years. And what does your team look like today?
Well, we have 16 buyer's agents. We have 2 listing agents. We have one about to switch over from the buy side to the list side. That's typically how we do it. We typically you don't just get to come straight into the listing side on our team. You have to kind of earn the spot. We have 6 admins, and then Jamie runs the buy team, and I run the list team along with Lauren Hyman, our top listing agent on our team.
Which she has been just a great team member for y'all, both ways. I mean, it's just been a great mix.
Oh, yeah.
And on average, how many listings do y'all take a month?
Typically, right now, I think this year we're around 17 a month.
Okay, which is possible. And again, your number one lead source for that, what do you think? Is it still direct mail, or is it?
It's definitely postcards. We use a couple of different postcard resources. We do our own postcards. We have 2 other different paid sources that we use as well. So basically, we litter the market with a lot of the same with different look to it is the best way to describe it, and it seems to really work.
Well, and signs. Signs are out everywhere. So if you have 68 billboards out, pretty much is what it is, plus take the directionals that add to that in places that you can put them up and keep them up, then you've got massive amount of top of mind, right, resources that are out there for people.
Well, and I think this is another place that the specialist model, I feel in our market, we win in that we have, let's call it 70 signs at the same time that look exactly the same. They're Josh Vernon with our lead generation number with my rider at the bottom, and the top goes from coming soon to new listing to under contract to closed. We don't have 15 signs with Josh's name on them and 6 signs with Lauren's names on them and another group with Sandy. And I think that's a huge takeaway from anybody trying to build a team. We decided early on that we would build a brand. We wouldn't let our egos dictate whose name's on the sign, and we never have put our pictures on the sign. That's just not us, So, but people do know our logo. They know our brand. They've heard Josh's name. Very few people know my name, but that's okay. Very few people. Lauren's. Everybody's starting to know her. Just because they make business, she does. But it's just our brand has always been, even from simple, subtle things like when we show houses, we do Josh Vernon Group signed up. We don't put our name side up because we take listings regularly where people go, man, you are the only person that's ever shown my house. When in reality, Josh hasn't shown a house in 2 years. It's a business card from Johnny's dropped one, Ben's dropped one, I've dropped one, Sandy's dropped one, and it's just, we just pound that presence in.
And that's the power of a team. That's the power of what a team can do. So how many listing appointments do you go on now?
0.
That's why
I have stepped out.
I had to share that with you.
It took 4 years to get there.
I know. 4 long years, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's only 4 years. I mean, in infancy as far as building a business, and that's how quickly the right vision, keeping that positivity and consistency, and a lot of the really good decisions of having the right people on the team. So thank y'all so much. Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Always people first. I really appreciate y'all sharing, your story and where it started, where it's gone. I mean, we're going to come back in December and show where it's been, because it's every time when Jamie and I talk about updates each week, I mean, we run out of words to say because it's just unbelievable. And we're all so excited about it that it's like, you can't find the next best word to describe it. So,
domination. That's the one we like. I will actually say, vision was important to me, but I remember, and I don't know if Josh will remember this, but I remember Genny's word that's never escaped my brain was inescapable. And that's who we've tried to become. We try to, we don't get every listing opportunity, but they at least think of us, at this point in our town. We make sure we're known.
Well, I think they think of you, and they're talking about you too. So, yes, I love that. I want to make sure that whenever you build a business, that people can't escape who you are and what you do and what value you bring to them. So make my hearts happy. Thank y'all for letting me share your story.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you.